Hello, guys. Good evening. Right. Hope everyone's having a great day today. It's Friday. Weekend is here, so let's have a quick session. So thank you for tuning up, even on short notice. We just started to advertise about this session, I think 2 days ago. So today I'd like to share a few tips on living together as housemates. I believe we've all gone through this situation whereby there's a stage there that we are housemates with someone or a group of people that we know or we don't know, especially when we were in boarding school, asrama, university, or even when we first start working. So those were the days that sometimes you have to share the house with others while you are still waiting to own your own property. So being with the best of homies, as we call the housemates, can bring the best memories for some people, while the others dread living with peers who are total pain in every imaginable aspect. So some of you would have had that situation before. So let's see who's online. Oh, Chain. Yes, Chain. Hi to you. Thank you for joining. JS Fabric Gallery, thank you for joining. Let's see, Facebook is good. All right, so let's continue. Personally, on this aspect, I've had a great time in all my experiences living together with fellow classmates or even colleagues back in Sungai Petani, Alosta, and also Ipoh, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so when we discuss about living together as housemates, we have a few aspects to consider. There are two main ones. Okay, one is sharing the common facilities or common areas within the household, and the other is managing the bills. All right, we will look at both of these aspects today. So let's see. For the first one, sharing common facilities of the room of the house. The common shared facilities in the house are mainly the bathrooms, of course, toilets, kitchen, common area like the hall, the balcony, and also maybe the car park. Right now, if you are lucky to have the opportunity to choose your own housemates, then life is pretty easy and straightforward. Yeah, so it'll be nice like, to have your own friends as your housemates. But if you are to live with total strangers that you're meeting for the first time, then it is best to discuss with all the housemates and make the rules clear and agreeable from day one, from the moment that everybody starts moving in, or from the moment the tenure of the rental tenure has begun, right? Okay, hi Nani Nasim, hi Chain again. Thank you for joining. Right, do like our page, our Facebook page, our Instagram page. Do follow our highlights and our updates, right? So when it comes to these common shared facilities in a house, please take note of these four important aspects. Okay, these are according to my own understanding, right? There are four. The first one is noise. Second one is cleanliness. Third one is timeliness, and also the fourth one is common sense. Right. Let's go through one by one. So for noise, okay, you all know that when you're housemates, the noise is a big issue and it's a recurrent issue. People living in the same household may have, people may be working odd hours or different working shifts. So not everybody goes out of the house and comes back at the same time. It is best to keep the noise level pretty low, especially when you're watching TV in the common area, or you're playing some music in the house or in your room, or even in the kitchen when you're cooking or something like that, right? So that it's important that you don't bother others in the house. Second aspect is cleanliness. Okay, this is very important. This is a key feature which is essential to make sure your household remains inhabitable and safe from pets of the underworld, as you call them, the cockroaches, the rats, and any other unpleasant things that even fly or crawl. Okay, you all have seen some of them. Cleanliness is always an issue when it comes to kitchen and bathroom. So take turns to throw out the rubbish when the garbage bin is full, or have a roster to take turns in cleaning the toilet or kitchen every week or once every fortnight. And do not be too calculative in these matters, okay? Because these are simple chores. If someone forgets or doesn't do it, then go ahead and complete it. I mean, why not help the others? But if it happens repetitively, then you can, of course, remind the person, or if you are if you don't feel like facing telling them straight, to the face, you can even text them or you can SMS or whatever, right? So we've seen the noise issue, the cleanliness. The third one is timeliness. Okay, this is a major issue when it comes to, especially when it comes to bathroom and toilet usage, especially in the mornings when everybody wakes up at the same time and goes to work at the same time, or even after office hours when everybody comes back home at the same time. So for very understanding housemates, you can ask each other if who wants to take the shower first. You can just shout, "Hey, I'm going to the toilet first. Are you going to use?" or something like that. If you're in very good terms with your housemates, okay. But it is best or orderly if you can have a fixed time of taking shower daily. Say, for example, like 7 p.m. every day, while your other housemates, they can adjust to your time and they can choose to use the washroom maybe 10-15 minutes earlier or later. And always be aware of the time that you're spending in the shower. Don't make your housemates wait while you sing with your unpleasant voice in the shower, of course. Yeah. So be aware of the time you're taking. The fourth one is common sense. Okay, common sense, quite an interesting one. This is the greatest missing thing among us all, not just nations, but all humans in general. Be considerate to your housemates in different scenarios and conditions. Simple acts of kindness can bring renewed harmony among housemates. For example, leave the car park empty for your housemates occasionally when you are the first. If you are the first one to arrive home, like daily, you've been parking your car daily inside the house. So maybe on a rainy day when you're expecting a thunderstorm a bit later in the evening, you can just park outside while it's still not raining. And maybe while your housemates come back during the rain, they can park inside and get into the house without getting wet. All right, simple acts. All right, wait for your housemates to finish cooking and then go down to the kitchen to use. Don't stand by the door and wait for them to finish. It'll be intimidating for them. Or you can even contribute to buy new utensils in the kitchen or even the bathroom, which others can share. You're not renovating the whole house or the unit, so it's just simple things that others can benefit as well. All right, so we've covered all 4 issues that I think are important when you're living together in a household, especially pertaining to the common facilities. We talked about the noise, cleanliness, timeliness, and also common sense. All right. All right, let's see what's going on online. Okay. Yes, Hazira, good evening. Thank you for joining. Satyam, thank you for joining. Right. We have a question here. Do Homyplace stated the do's and don'ts in the tenancy agreement? Oh yes, of course. Yeah. So the good thing about Homyplace is, thanks for highlighting, Hazira. So whenever Homyplace manages the units, for example, my ISO unit, they have a predetermined rules which they even stick on the entrance, near the entrance of the unit. So whoever that's staying in the house, you can actually see the rules, the do's and don'ts every day. So you don't have an excuse to say that, oh, I don't know the rules or regulations. So it's easy and they're quite easy to follow and straightforward. They are nothing outrageous. For example, you are not allowed to bring strangers or people of the opposite gender, especially if they are all girls staying in one unit, something like that. And also maintain the cleanliness and stuff. So that's a good thing that I noticed about Homyplace managing these units, and accordingly, the tenants seem to follow. All right, so the units are pretty clean even when they move out of the house at the end of their rental tenure. Yes, Chain, stand by the door. Yeah, I've seen that happening. People queuing by the door. No, this is not in my personal experience, but probably in camping sites and stuff. People wait for you to finish cooking, so it's pretty like you feel like people are rushing you. Right. So in Instagram, Peep Azman. Yeah, thank you for joining. Right, let's wave to them. Saidi Arifin, thank you for joining. Right, let's wave to everyone. Very Kyasu, yes. Okay, yes, true, Jain. I've got interesting comments today. All right, so, okay, for those who just tuned in to our live session today, let's make a quick recap of the first part of our live session. We were talking about living together in a household with your housemates. Okay, sharing a household with your housemates or friends takes into account two major aspects: the common shared facilities and also managing the bills. So we have just covered the part on managing common shared facilities. The next part is managing the bills. Let's make a recap again. We just discussed how to mutually benefit from the common shared facilities in a house without being a pain in the ass for others. And that comprised of being aware of the noise level, of course, the first one, the cleanliness, the timeliness, and also having a bit of common sense every now and then. Because it's pretty impossible for humans in general to have decent levels of common sense all the time. So, yeah, at least a bit of it every now and then will be helpful for the others. So, let's go to the second part, managing bills and payments. Let's see how we can efficiently manage bills and payments when we are living under the same roof with friends or even strangers who we eventually come to know as housemates. Yeah. All right. So mainly we have the traditional bills that we have been managing so far, which are the rental bills, of course, every month, the electricity, the water, and also the phone bills. And not so long ago, Astro came into the picture. People were subscribing to Astro in their house and being shared with housemates, and also the internet bill. We had broadband, Unify, Maxis Fiber, whatever that came into the picture. Even more recently, we have more advanced bills, like not to say advanced, more latest bills like Netflix, Spotify, whatsoever, that actually waste more and more of our time after work, but they do keep us entertained. So people subscribe to these services and share among the housemates. So let's see how we can effectively manage them. When talking about who, so when it comes to paying the bills on time, it is best to have one single person who, if you're lucky, there's a volunteer to do them all. I mean, collect all the bills, collect all the payments from the rest, and pay them accordingly on time. Okay, if somebody is willing to do it, then that's the best. This is a fairly interesting task for those who love to live systematically, of course. And if and only if your housemates are super responsible and pay them all on time all the time, right? Every single month. And this is also easy because you can combine all your rental amount, also all the bills, and pay one lump sum. For example, you don't have to pay separately to different people, so you can combine, like the rental is 200, the bills are 100, and the rest you can just pay together to this person every month. All right, but to be fair, you do not want to put a burden to just one single person. It's better to have each housemate in charge of one particular bill. For example, if there are 4 people living in a house, person A can take charge of the water bill, person B the electricity, person C the internet, and person D for any other bills that's available in the household. Now, things to avoid in management of bills. Among the petty issues about collecting money for bills from your housemates is having the exact change when accepting cash. Now, cash is an issue, and I think it shouldn't be an issue nowadays. Please insist on bank transfer, as I don't think there are any reasonable Malaysians nowadays who do not have a valid bank account, right? So it's easier to make a bank transfer, so you can quote the exact amount, like 238 ringgit 56 cents. Even the cents can be mentioned. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to pay a round figure and then expect your friend to return the balance, right? Otherwise, you are not so as a person who collects the bills, you are not obliged to return the balance money to them, as you're not running a grocery store or something, right? So it's best to insist on a bank transfer every month from your fellow housemates to pay the bills, right? Another unworthy task is to do in this current modern day is paying bills in person at vendors and also post offices. You don't have to go to TM point or even the post office to pay all these bills. Please pay online. You can definitely pay any bill online nowadays, especially in Malaysia. You can save time, you can save others' time, you can save the cashier's time, you can save papers, and you can even save your own life sometimes because you're avoiding the risk of dying in an accident on the way to pay these bills. Right? It can be funny, but if it happens, then suddenly alamak, accident on the way to buy a bill. Memang sounds ridiculous lah kan. Almost all bills can be paid online. Just find out how to do it. First attempt, maybe it's a bit difficult, and then if you put as a favorite in your bank account, then every month you don't have to key in the TAC or stuff. Just key in the amount and click pay. That's all. It just goes through. First attempt maybe just a bit tedious. All right. So let's see how we can pay these bills on time. If you are one of the person who is in charge of collecting bills and payments in the house, you can be very systematic. It's pretty easy once it becomes a habit. Open an Excel sheet, Microsoft Excel or any other similar programs. Excel, I suggest, because it has already ready-made grids and tables for you to fill in. So there's no trouble of creating tables like in Microsoft Word or stuff. So you can keep track of the bills every month. How much each housemate pays every month, when is the payment date, and when is the bill due date. So you can easily see, oh, okay, this date is coming and we have to pay. And with the correct formulas, in fact, every time you get the total amount of the bill in your hand, you just need to key in into one, it will automatically divide and tell how much each person has to pay. So that makes life very easy. And then once all the breakdown has been mentioned in the Word, in the Excel sheet, you can take a screenshot. Okay, screenshot, you can use Windows snipping tool. You can just type in, you can press the Windows logo and type SNIPPING. One program will come out, snipping tool. You can actually crop whatever the image that you want, and then you can copy and paste it in your WhatsApp or other social media messaging systems, and you can share with your housemates. All right. I would like to advise, please stop being pathetic in taking screenshots of this bills breakdown using your phone, because most of us cannot take a clear picture, and when you take a screenshot of your computer screen, it appears very lousy. Right? So please be professional a bit, use snipping tool or something like that, and so that the figures and the numbers are also clear. When you use your phone to take a screenshot, it's not clear at all. Right? So be pleasant and send clear pictures of the bill amounts to your housemates, so that you can inspire them to even pay as soon as possible, because it's human nature to actually respond well to pleasant things. And yes, another huge benefit of track of monthly bills and payments is that whenever there is a sudden surge in bills, for example, you've been paying 100 ringgit for electricity every, suddenly this month it's 200. So you could easily compare and report to the TNB, for example, if you suspect any technical issues or any theft or anything like that. So it's easy to keep track. And when managing the bills, you would face trouble in terms of these troublesome tenants sometimes. And what we do with troublesome housemates who do not pay bills and keep giving excuses every month in delaying the payments and stuff. This depends on how well you know the person or how bad the situation is. So there's no clear-cut answer. There's no right or wrong answer. But for housemates who are total strangers to you, it is best to avoid paying for them in the very beginning itself, because this gives them an opportunity to repeat their act of pity, being self-pity, whatsoever. They say not enough money, whatever. Be strict and stern. Worst case scenario, if they don't pay by the end of the month, they would have to stop using that particular service. For example, if they're not paying the internet bill, then you will have to block their PC from using the router service or whatever. Or they would even have to leave the house if you don't pay the rent. As simple as that. You do not give them grace period, whatever. The grace period is until the end of the month. You don't give a few months grace period so that they completely make use of it and then suddenly they disappear after a few months. You can even call the police or inform the landlord if they retaliate or they refuse to leave, right, without paying the bills. So we hope such things do not happen, and that is why it's super important to know who you are choosing as your housemate. And in this case, I would like to thank Homyplace, because they are very particular in this aspect. One doesn't have to worry anymore, as Homyplace has very stringent methods in determining the quality of the tenant. And because how they do it is they do a comprehensive background check on every tenant that applies to rent a unit, any unit under Homyplace. And my personal experience, I've had three tenants sought by home. Three tenants for my ISOVO unit, which were through Homyplace, and all three have been the best and some of the best tenants I've encountered, because they've been paying bills on time. Everything is perfect. Even when they're leaving the unit, it's clean and yeah, it's just ready for the next tenancy. Right? Okay. So yes, so we've gone through some tips on how to manage the monthly bills and rentals, and let's see some comments. Yes, Shaheen, don't do it, or you'll end up being this one. Yes, very true indeed. Yeah, if you end up paying for them 1 month and that's it, people make use of it, right? So be very what you call aware of these kind of situations, right? Unless it's your very good friend and you know them personally and you know they are trustworthy, they can pay you back, then it's okay. All right, so let's make a quick recap. Yeah, there's nothing much on Instagram. Thanks for following, guys. Right, so there you are at the end of my babbling on this fine Friday evening. It's not even raining, very good weather. A recap of the entire session today. We talked about living as housemates, okay? And in terms of managing two major aspects. Number one is the etiquette of sharing common facilities in the house, and secondly is managing effectively managing and paying monthly bills. For the first part, the etiquette of being nice housemates is about giving attention to noise levels. Number one, cleanliness. Number two, timeliness. Number three, and also number four is a bit of common sense. For the second part on bills and payment, we talked about sorting out the bills, collecting them, and paying up the bills on time, as well as methods to keep record of these bills in a systematic manner. All right, so that's about it. Pretty simple. A lot of people know how to do all these things, but probably if you find anything useful, anything new, please do take note. You can implement them. You can share with your friends, housemates, anybody. All right. So, do we have any questions? Mm, Sivarao just joined. Yes, welcome. Uh, Haylin Yip just joined. Okay, let's wave. Thanks, guys. Right. What else we have? Let's give a few minutes. See if there are no questions, then we'll call it a day. Hope those who are currently housemates with anybody, anywhere, hope you're having a good time and do what do you call? Do make an effort to help your housemates whenever necessary. Make the house keep the house in a harmonious situation. Right, that's the best. Thanks for the thumbs up, Sivarao. Okay, right. So if there are no questions, it's yeah, it's almost 6:30 now. So shall we call it a day? All right, that's all for today. Thanks for joining again. Wishing everyone a safe and peaceful weekend ahead. And don't forget to share these tips with your housemates and with your friends, family members. All right. So see you again sometime in future. Most importantly, if you have any residential units, especially in Klang Valley, that you are having difficulty managing or having difficulty finding tenants, please do contact Homyplace. They're doing a great job in managing these units, right? So, oh yeah, sorry, I missed some comments. Yes, Sasidaran, thank you for your remarks. Right, Chayin, thank you for listening all the while and being active, being an active participant. Thank you, thank you. All right, so see you again. See you guys again some other time in future. Thank you again for joining. All right, have a good and pleasant weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.